that's different.
That is different.
Right? You got used to it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
It's all right. I'm gonna find all my batteries. I got like 6 of them. I haven't used them, so they're just floating around. I had to find a charger. I had everything I need, and that's one of the things God has been dealing with me with. The other day, I was looking through my stuff, and it was just a challenge of use what you need. I mean, use what you have.
Mm-hmm.
You have everything you need. Use what you have. So that's my goal. You okay?
What is it called? Like what?
Well, welcome back to I Don't Know, Ask My Mom. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this with someone that you think would enjoy it. Today we are going to talk about my birthing story, my pregnancy and my birthing story. It was an interesting one, but I will start, and then Mom, you feel free to chime in if there's anything that I leave out or, things from your perspective, because her perspective is going to add to it. I won't say it'll be different, but it'll add to what I say. So let's see. Hi. About March of last year, I found out I was pregnant. March 24th. Yeah.
With me. She said, yeah, with me.
Yeah, with you. March 24th last year, I found out I was pregnant. And very candidly, because this wasn't a planned pregnancy per se, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. That was to be truthful, it wasn't just cut and dry, oh, I'm keeping this baby. No, this is not who I want to have a child with. This is not, it's just, it wasn't where life was planning to be. I had spent my 20s trying not to have a baby because my life wasn't where I wanted it to be. I didn't feel prepared. I was getting all my ducks in a row, so to speak. So, to make a long story short, at the beginning of my pregnancy, I had made an appointment to terminate my pregnancy, and you cannot get an abortion in the state of Missouri. You have to go to the state of Kansas, so that means you have to wait some time. It's not just cut and dry, which was my saving grace, as well as the thing that saved Grace, my child. So in those few weeks, a lot of things happened, but there were a few pivotal things that happened that changed my mind and let me strengthen my faith and help me to believe that everything will be okay having a child, particularly being a single parent and having a child, because I knew that was a reality that I was facing, and it was quite honestly me facing one of my largest fears. Yeah.
She said, but we have faith over fear.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, so one of the ways I knew I was pregnant is because I had a couple of Jackson Cokes one night, and she cut all of my extracurriculars out, throwing up my little soul. So in those few weeks, what happened was my mom talked to me about abortion a few times. This is not a topic that had ever come up
in the 30 years of your life.
Yeah, and we had never talked about it. Are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we had never talked about it. It had never come up. It was not a topic of discussion because it didn't apply. It wasn't even something that I was thinking about because having children was not on my radar. It was like husband and then children, and then if children, then we don't even have to talk about it if husband is there. It's still not a topic for discussion. So in those few weeks, that topic came up 3 different times. What else happened? I went to Seattle and we celebrated my brother's birthday, his heavenly birthday. Yeah, we celebrated Uncle Montine's birthday.
You like hearing his name.
Yeah, she perks up every time she hears Montine. And then on my way back home, I flew home from Seattle straight through flight. And it was turbulent isn't the word to use for the flight home. We flew past a lightning and thunderstorm. Now, anytime there's lightning, there's usually thunder, obviously, because of the hum of the airplane. You can't really hear the thunder, but I definitely saw the lightning. So much so that my straight through flight from Seattle to Kansas City was diverted, and we had to go all the way to Oklahoma to go around the storm and get back to Kansas City. And on the map, it actually looked like a check mark. So it was very pivotal for a few different reasons. One of the reasons is personally, what's going on?
I got you, girl. Yes, I do. Okay, we're good. It's okay.
Personally, I was actually talking to one of my cousins before I took off for this particular flight, and and I told him that I felt like I was in the storm of my life, because to be quite honest, I hadn't had a steady income. I was my entire 20s. I had steady income. I knew when that check was coming. It was a decent check. I was able to handle everything that I needed to handle, and more. I was able to handle other stuff that I definitely didn't have to handle in terms of finances. I was able to move around. I could travel. I could pretty much do whatever it is that I wanted to do through my 20s. And at 30, that all just came to a screeching halt. So to be 30 and not financially be in the position that I want to be in, on top of that, I think right before I came back, I found out I no longer had medical insurance through my former employer. It was just a perfect storm of madness and just like elements. It was a lot of elements, so to speak, pun intended, where everything kind of seemed out of my control, and I was really put in a position where I had to lean on God and really have faith. Like, when we talk about faith being tested, I really had to go through that test. And the day that I flew back was actually the day before my appointment, and I woke up the next day. I didn't get to sleep till probably 3 a.m. I didn't get home until 2. My flight was supposed to land at midnight. It didn't land till 1:30. I didn't get home till about 2:30. I got to sleep about 3:30. My appointment was at 11 that next day, and I woke up at 7 a.m. and it was a no-go. I couldn't do it. I told her dad, listen, this isn't happening. However you feel about it is how you feel about it, but I can't go through with this. I can't in good conscience call myself a Christian. And that was one of the things that I thought about in that few weeks. Was I'm telling other people that God got them and God is covering them, and that they don't have to worry about resources, and as bleak as it might look, you're still going to be taken care of. You got to have faith. I couldn't in good conscience be telling other people that and not believe it for myself. So I didn't go through with it. Plus, I was way farther along than what I even thought about. So I would have got to the doctor's office and they probably would have told me no anyway, which was all a blessing in disguise. So off to the races at this point. Initially, it was all good. I mean, her dad was hesitant about it, but because obviously not planned, but he was supportive, so to speak. That wavered back and forth through the pregnancy. But she's here. She's here and she's healthy and she's happy, and that was my first trimester. Every time somebody asked me what I wanted to have or what I was having, or if I know I'm having a happy, healthy baby. So first trimester was started. I was going through morning sickness. The first 3 people that I told were my best friend, my cousin who was a pharmacist, and her best friend who also is a pharmacist and is also a new mom. Had literally just had a baby 2 months prior. I think she had a 2-month-old when I found out that I was pregnant. So shout out to that part of my tribe for keeping me going. I reached out to them, and from the reason why, best friend for obvious reasons, she knows where all the bones are buried.
Mm-hmm.
she knows where all this stuff is going on, and I know it's in no judgment zone, as well as vice versa, right? So that's just the relationship that we have. And then going to my cousin who's a pharmacist, because morning sickness, midday sickness, evening sickness, night sickness. I was up at 2 a.m. throwing up.
Right.
And I didn't want my mom. I hadn't told my mama. So the first few weeks, I had to consult my medical professionals closest to me so that they could help me get to the results of what is not going to make me sick, right? That was a combination. I think it was B6 and I think it's called Dramamine. It's like a sleep aid. Either way. Oh, in the words of Lil Wayne, I was a pill popping animal. I was definitely taking those. I don't think she's standing up, 9 weeks old. Yeah, so the first few weeks, I was definitely taking those. You could take them 4 times a day, and they helped me. Finally told mom in April. I actually told my aunt first because we went to a comedy show, and I had to tell her. Everyone that I told throughout my pregnancy, it was either you're within my tribe or I saw you. It wasn't something that I necessarily hid, but it's like, if you know, you know. And if you don't, hey, you will at some point. So first trimester, told my aunt April 23rd. Yeah, April 23rd. And then the next day we planned to take my mom to Red Robin for my aunt's birthday. And that's how we told my mom. I got a cute little thing together, and I'll post that video as well. We have reaction videos for everything. I definitely documented throughout the entire pregnancy, so that's super cool, and you all get to enjoy those moments with us. But took her out, told her that I was pregnant, threw her for a loop. It went straight over her head for a couple minutes, but clearly she is enjoying being an Elise, which is grandmother for Cherokee, grandmother in Cherokee, or in Native, not necessarily Cherokee, but in Native American tongue, Elise is what grandmother means. Mm-hmm. Started going through pregnancy. First trimester, mom found out. She came through, kicked in with the peppermint tip for the nausea that got me through the last part of my first trimester. And then second trimester came, and we were kind of off to the races. It was still a testament of faith for sure, where I battled with not having certain resources and really had to lean on God and just say, it's gonna be taken care of. And there were plenty of nights where I was emotional, was a mess, was trying to figure out where this was coming from, how this was gonna happen, how that was gonna happen. And God kept coming through. That He just kept coming through, even starting with insurance. Surprise, Missouri is like one of the states that takes care of pregnant women. Like, my insurance, health-wise, through my pregnancy, I had everything that I needed taken care of, with the exception of my midwife, which I'll explain later on down the line. Yeah, so second trimester started. We took a road trip to Seattle. That was fun. Is being in a car for 28 hours. 28 hours pregnant in the summertime. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely one of those memory makers. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Girl was getting her miles in before she got here.
You chiming in?
Yeah.
Which is funny because I took a road trip with you when I was pregnant. I was 19, and we drove that same trip. I actually drove the whole trip though. Just as pregnant as I wanted to be.
That's the difference between being 19 and pregnant and being 30 and pregnant. So
It's a big difference.
being 30 and pregnant, I was like, listen, I'm tired. Yeah. I am sleepy. Let me lay back here with Morgan, the 6-year-old.
And you were a relative. That was like second trimester. Well, I guess I was in second trimester.
It was like the very beginning of my second trimester.
Cause we went in summer.
So March 4 weeks, April 8 weeks, May 12 weeks. So yeah, I was right at the very beginning of my second trimester, but I was still super tired, and I wanted food. I was tired and hungry. Like, that was it. So second, got to Seattle, was able to do a couple more reveals, let people know that I was pregnant, pop up on people. That was a lot of fun. Just kind of go through life. Had a baby shower while I was in Seattle. Got to be surrounded by my tribe of aunties, because that's who I wanted around me. I was very much so in a state and in a season of, I only want the people around me that actually love me, that actually will show up when I call, or if not, have shown up without me calling. They call and check on me, right? Because everybody doesn't do that. We very much so live in a world where everybody's kind of in their own bubble, and they are very much so tunnel vision, which doesn't help with relationships. Yeah, it's not very conducive to relationships, and it's not really who I am. Yeah.
I have no hair. She gonna find a little corner.
Oh, she got your hair.
Oh, you don't see her fizz?
I see her fizz, but I didn't.
There's a handful of hair in there.
It is a handful of hair in there. Oh boy. Yeah. Well. Okay, so June, that was it, and then we didn't know how we were getting back. We had no idea. Tickets were $900.
Yes, they were. They were $900.
For a one-way.
Yes, they were.
A one-way ticket in June from Seattle to Kansas City was $900. Had no idea how I was getting back.
How or when?
No, but we made it back. So God got it. How about that? No, you can't have your hair. Yeah, you can have slobber all over your hair. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you, bitch.
She got your B2B right in her fist.
She did. I got her hand now.
She's great. Yeah, she's great. Go to sleep. Let's see. Okay, so that was second trimester. We came back. We found out, and up to this point, OB appointments were very normal. I found a OBGYN out in Kansas that was a person of color, which is something that I very much so had interest in and wanted to put emphasis on personally, because I know of the mortality rates when it comes to specifically Black women and giving birth, and just being an advocate for healthy birthing situations as a Black woman. Like, I was super hyper aware of it, and just in general, when my health, as it pertains to my health, I'm pretty hyper aware about that. So up until that point, OB appointments were fine. Everything was taken care of. Baby was perfect. All tests passed, so to speak. And then we got to well, that was the 5-month appointment where we found out the sex. We did a reveal on the 4th of July. That was a lot of fun. And then fast forward a couple of months, I'm probably missing something in there, but 6-month appointment. So it really was only a month. So fast forward to the end of July where my 6-month appointment came. And it was time to do the glucose test, right? Anybody that's ever been pregnant pretty much knows about that glucose test. And I had heard about it. I had heard about this disgusting drink that they make you drink before you come into your doctor's office, and they test for pre-gestational. Yeah. Basically test to see if your blood sugar is too high for the baby, and if there's anything that you should be worried about, or if you need to change any of your dietary habits in your last trimester, which is so cruel for a pregnant woman, quite honestly. Like, you've been eating like this for the first 6 months, and surprise, you need to change everything. Yeah, it's not fun. My midwife ended up trying to do that, and I didn't. Everything in moderation. But that 6-month appointment, there was a lot of red flags that came up for me. One was right when I walked in. Now, just as a reminder, all of my expenses, because like I said, Missouri health insurance for pregnant women is amazing. Everything is taken care of. You really don't have to pay for much. From dental to glasses. I got an eye exam while I was pregnant. I got dental work done while I was pregnant, just because babies do a number on your teeth. And when I went into my 6-month appointment, the first thing that they handed me was a sheet that explained the cost of giving birth and how much it would be just to give birth at the hospital, which was off-putting to me, because if my insurance is taking care of it, why do I need to see this? I'm 7 months pregnant. I don't want to see that a regular vaginal birth is this much, a C-section is $900 more, and
anesthesia.
Yeah. So that was red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 was the what's that thing called? Why I'm drawing a blank.
The back in your back?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what it's called too. But I know what you're talking
Epidural.
about. There you go.
My OB asked me about the epidural, and not that she didn't just ask me about the epidural. She insisted, and she was pretty persistent on me getting it.